Hey everybody, I'm Michelle and this is Live Life Whimsically. Here on my channel, I give commentary on other YouTube channels, religion, comedy, real estate, among other things. Sometimes I just drink and talk about what's happening in my life. Please do your own research and don't take anything I say as fact. All content stream falls under fair use. Please like, subscribe, and share this video, and please remember to leave a comment if you'd be so kind. So, hey, I just wanted to talk a little bit about adult bullying and bullies in neighborhoods. I have never experienced this before. This is the first time in my life that I have actually had a neighborhood a bully as an adult in my life. And I don't know that I really thought about her so much as being a bully before because there's been issues with her for the past 3 years. And I am not real, I don't know. I don't think about things until I finally get really mad or something really big happens, and then I decide, well, maybe I should start doing something about it. So this woman moved in with a dude that's been living on my street for a while, and I tried in the beginning to be nice to her. I invited them over, for little backyard fires and to go out and have dinner and drinks and whatever. And, they just weren't interested. And that's okay. I mean, I understand that not everybody likes everybody else, and I'm down with that. Um, Therapy has taught me a lot about how to control interprojection on myself about not being a good person or whatever, whenever somebody decides that they don't like me for whatever reason. So I was down. Um, there was one particular, we had a homeless guy that was living in our neighborhood, in and out of the neighborhood, and he was friends with this woman's boyfriend. And the very first thing this woman did when she moved in was dismantle his. The guy had a refrigerator out for the homeless guy, and she had that was gone right away as soon as she moved in. That went away. We had other neighbors in the neighborhood that took over for this guy, and he ultimately ended up dying, and that's a whole nother story. But that's just an example of her crappy ass behavior. But when he died, she hadn't talked to me much at all. In fact, she had, up to when he died, pretty much said she had disdain for me. And at first, I didn't even recognize that she was talking about me when she was talking right to my face. It took me a second to process that this woman was literally sitting across from me, judging me when she'd never really even got to know me to begin with. So when he died, she banged on my door, came in, and fell into my arms crying, telling me how sad she was that he died. And I found myself comforting a person who told me that I was loud, obnoxious, and disrupting her life after she moved into the house next door, which I don't know how because I live across the street from her. I do sit with my neighbor on Fridays. We have happy hour over there. We've been doing it for almost 4 years. She's just a person that doesn't really, I don't know. I think she has no friends. I think she's miserable, and I think she projects that on other people. So took that moment while we were mourning the loss of our friend, which I still don't believe she was doing, to try to have a conversation with her about, I should probably let you guys see me. I don't know why I just say it with my camera. Who cares? No makeup. Here I am. Um, I took that moment to have a conversation with her about what was happening between us. And I said, maybe we could just be friendly to each other now that we've had this conversation about the passing of our friend, and let's just try to get along. And she looked me straight in the face and she said, I don't need any friends. I have friends. I don't need friends. And I said, okay, well, maybe we could be friendly to each other. Just nice, like, not, we don't have to hang out. We could just be cordial when we see each other. And she said, I have zero interest in doing that as well. And so this was a year ago when the fella died. And I was like, well, okay, you do you, I'll do me, and we'll let it go. Well, yesterday, some things transpired in the afternoon that led me to believe that I might need to seek a restraining order against this woman. And so now, instead of doing it for the last 3 years like I should have, I started documenting what she's doing. So we were out on the porch making Christmas gifts, and they were gone, but then they came home, and I just, glanced at them as they were coming out of the car, and she got out of the car and she just began mocking the way that I laugh. And like so loud and so obnoxious, and it was just, I knew what she was doing. I knew it. And she walked back out of the house, turned around, did it again. And I'm not very proud of what I'm about to say I did, but I lift my head and I looked over at her and I called her the C word and I told her to shut the F up because I didn't want to hear her mouth anymore. And we were listening to old 70s music, like really old stuff that would be the equivalent of when I was a kid, listening to my dad listen to Vic Damone. I was, it was quiet. It was just good focus music. A lot of old Midwestern bands with horns and stuff, just not, it's not everybody's cup of tea. I get it, but it wasn't very loud. I mean, we were still able to talk to each other on the porch doing our stuff. And so, what did she have to do? She had to go and get her music and then turn the speaker towards my house and play it as loud as she could. And I was like, all right, whatever. That tit for tat, you do your thing, I'm gonna do mine. And I ultimately end up changing it. And I'm like, if we're gonna be obnoxious, let me put hair metal on and see how we like that. And then did that and just finished doing what I was doing. And then I went across the street to talk to my neighbor who I sit with in the carport because she's gone through it with this woman as well, and she was upset too because I guess there was something going on with them too. The lady across the street, the C word lady, was just being obnoxious to her yesterday too. And I said, old me 31 years ago would have handled things differently, and today I might be sitting in jail for how I behaved. And so I said, but I'm too old for that and I won't do that anymore. But I was really super upset. And the another neighbor's cat wandered onto their driveway. And then this woman says, shower time, kitty, and drags the hose out and squirts this elderly cat with the hose. And to which I said, don't worry, that woman is just an asshole. And that's how serial killers are born. So what does she decide to do after that is she grabs that same speaker that she was using while her and her man were out there doing whatever they were doing in the front yard, turns it up as loud as it could go, puts it in her carport, which faces my friend's carport, and then turns it towards us. So now my friend and I have to yell to talk to each other. It wasn't even like they were working on that side of the house and they were trying to hear the music because they were doing whatever they were doing in the front. No, she went in the house, her and her man in the house, and didn't come out for 2 hours and left that music blaring the entire time. I have not been this angry in a really long time. And I'm really irritated that I didn't take that moment to TikTok that to show what she had done, because literally she comes at me for no reason, none. And, you know, everybody that I was talking to yesterday said I should just let it go. And I think mostly because they were worried about what would happen to me if the situation escalated. But my thing is, so we let a bully bully. That's what we do. I mean, is that the thing we do now? We just let the bully bully. You know, she's just going to forever come outside and do that stuff, water down cats, you know, turn up the music, mock me, mock other people, and we just got to let that go. And the thing that's even more maddening to me is that her boyfriend, who was our friend, who came over and sat with us on Friday nights, who organized little street parties and we would barbecue together, now doesn't talk to us and allows the behavior too. There was another time where they were working on the roof of their house. They were getting leaves out of the gutters and not paying very good attention as either one of them were going up and down the ladder, and the ladder was wobbly and stuff, you know. And I said, do you need me to help you hold the ladder while because one was up there and the other one was trying to climb? And I said, I don't have a problem, you know, doing that. I said, it's looking a little scary up there. And, you know, she fucking called me a busybody because I offered to help so they didn't fall off and break their neck when they came down the ladder. So I looked at them and I said, well, okay, if I'm a busybody and that's how you feel about it, when you fall off the ladder and break your neck, then I'm not calling 911 because I wouldn't want to be accused of doing things that you don't want done. So I'll just let you lay there and you guys figure out how you're going to get to your cell phone because I'm not helping you. And then there was another time that right after the hurricane that he stopped and wanted to talk about what had happened, and she was waving us off, waving me and my friend off, like, get away, get out, like, yo, then why don't you go inside? And another time when they had taken concrete up off the ground to relay their driveway, and someone drove down the street and asked me, hey, is that your concrete? And I said, no. And they said, do you know whose it is? Yes. Hey, here's my phone number. Would you mind passing it along? Because I wouldn't mind taking that concrete off their hands. If they're not going to use it, I have a use for it. Okay, no problem. I text him. I said, hey, somebody stopped me and asked. I mean, I have his phone number, for God's sake. The man gave it to me. So I asked him that, and then I don't hear anything back from him, which doesn't surprise me because the whole time our friend was dying, which, by the way, I took care of him first. They were going to let this guy just keel over and die. And I came home and forced his butt into the car and took him to the hospital while we were watching him, actively die. And this was supposed to be his best friend. And he wasn't doing anything about it. Finally, he stepped in and did stuff. But anyway, I asked him, I didn't hear anything when the guy was dying, and I didn't hear anything from him when I asked about the concrete. And so I was over there with Barb again, and she came out and she was talking about other stuff I don't even know, and then finally said stuff. And I don't like it when people message my boyfriend. I don't message anybody else's boyfriend. And I was like, what does this even have to do with what we were talking about? Like, I had no idea what she was talking about, and zero idea that it was about me, that we were having this conversation, until finally she looked at me and she goes, you. And I said, me what? And she said, you messaged my boyfriend. And I'm like, when did I message him? Because literally, like, I'm like, here, this person wants this concrete. And then I didn't think about it again because the bitch never answered me back. You know what I mean? He never messaged me back. So I'm like, what? Oh, I said, are you talking about the concrete? She goes, yeah, why do you care? Why do I care about what? Well, why do you care about our concrete? I don't care about your concrete. Somebody asked me if they could have it and asked me to pass the phone number along, so I did. Look, I don't message your boyfriend. Don't be messaging my boyfriend. And I was like, well, you don't message my boyfriend because my boyfriend wasn't stupid enough to give you his phone number. Your boyfriend, however, gave me his phone number, and so I sent him a message and asked him if he wanted it. Or, it's so dumb. The whole thing is so dumb to me that this bitch sits across the street from me and pulls all this shit. So now I'm just going to memorialize it so that if she continues to pull what she pulled yesterday, I'll file a restraining order against her. Even if I don't get it, just to inconvenience her, I will do it. Because I don't know what else to do. And everybody else seems to think I need to be quiet and just let it happen. And that goes against everything that I hold sacred. So if you've ever had a bully in your neighborhood or someone that singled you out as an adult to attack you like this, I would like to know how you handled it. Because I seriously do not know what I'm going to do or say to this woman if she gets in my grill again. And look, it doesn't help that I haven't had therapy since October. I lost it for a whole another reason. I go back in January. But Lord knows that was a nice little break for me to see that I still need help because I have anger issues, and that's for sure true. And this crap that she pulled really irritated me yesterday. I don't think I've been this mad. Like I said, I can't remember being this irritated with anybody in a really long time. So I see 5 people are up in here. I'd like to know if anybody has any comments or ideas on how I should handle it, because I don't have a clue, man. I don't know what to do. I thought about messaging him again and telling him, hey, here's what I'm going to do, man, because I don't know what else to do. I've tried to ignore her. I've tried to stay away from her. She is actively trying to instigate crap between us. And everything that I've read so far online says, you should not let them drag you into the drama because that gives them the satisfaction they're looking for. It gives them a big rush of dopamine in their brain. And now they're all excited because they were the ones that did what they did and got you to do what they did, wanted you to do. Maybe that's true. I mean, I know how old me would have loved to have gotten to fisticuffs with her, and that would have really pushed my endorphins too. But there's definite boundary issues going on, and we're actively trying not to talk to those people. So I don't understand why she has to be antagonistic towards me all the time. I just don't understand it. I'm not even here all the time. I live in two places and I'm mostly, in fact, I've been gone since the end of September and didn't come back until the first part of December. So I've been gone for 3 whole months. She had 3 months without me, and I'm about to leave again on Wednesday. So I don't know why she's doing what she's doing. I don't. And I don't know what I ever did in the beginning to mess with her. And I guess it doesn't have to be anything, right? I mean, you people can rub your fur backwards even if for no reason. Just you don't mesh, whatever that is. I don't know. But I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know how I'm supposed to handle it. And it woke me up at 1 o'clock. Do I have to file a restraining order? I don't know. What would you do? What would you do? I mean, in the early days of the crap that went on between us, with her saying really awful things, I let it go. I was like, all right, if you don't want to be friends, that's cool. You can get out of my house now. You came to tell me the dude died, so we've said all that. We've got it all done. So why don't you just go on and go do your thing, and we'll just agree to stay away from each other. That was really the last conversation her and I had. And then this. And it's like this isn't the first time she's mocked me. She's mocked me before. And I guess part of me should be like, well, if you are so insecure and obsessed with my life that you have to do this, I really feel sorry for you, Maria. I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for you that you can't hold a job. I feel sorry for you that you got a boyfriend that can't even stand up to you and just let you run every single person he ever hung out with in his entire life out of his life. I feel sorry that you had something so traumatic happen to you in your life that the only way that you feel good about yourself is to bully other people, Maria. I feel bad for you. But I'm begging you to leave me the fuck alone. I don't want to talk to you. You can handle our little Friday night happenings over there. You don't need to come out and say crap to anybody. Stay in your lane. We'll stay in ours. I know you guys ain't in that side room. I know that your TV's in the front because I could see it through the window. You don't have to be mean to the neighbor's animals. You don't have to do that. You in particularly don't have to do it in front of people and be blatant about it. Shower time, kitty. What are you, a Nazi, Maria? So anyway, yeah, that's it. I have other things I should be doing today and not ruminating on all of this crap. If you have any comments or any ideas of how to handle it, put it in the comment section. I really don't know what to do. All right, peace out.